Looks like I'm on my own again. I'm still not sure I've got a handle on all this. 10,000 years ago, the residents of Shambhala all kill each other, save for a few priests who escape the civil war. Shortly after that, Richard crash lands here and convinces those priests to invoke a force field around the center to protect it. Now the Countess, along with her troops, and Kim, are in the center of Shambhala, ready to blow the bloody thing up. And, surprise, surprise, I'm the only one that can stop them. I need 3 pieces of some amulet to harness the power of the source and somehow make everything okay again. That's Richard's plan, in any case. I'll probably just wander around breaking things until something interesting happens. Different sized discs with odd markings carved onto them. The pedestal in the middle has similar symbols. Brute force won't move these things. Some sort of stone gear mechanism. The one in the middle's made of wood. Looks like it's had better days. If in doubt, break things. These heads are carved in one piece, right out of the rock. Even after all these years, they're in perfect condition. They must have had some special significance. Old deities, perhaps? Might have looked more distinguished if they'd bothered to close their gobs. Pushing or pulling doesn't achieve much. The mouths are open wide enough for me to get my hand in, but there's nothing inside. These heads are carved in one piece. Even after all these, they must have had some special, might have looked more distinguished. Pushing or pulling doesn't achieve much. The mouths are open wide enough for me to get my hand in. Pushing or pulling doesn't achieve much. The mouth... It's seen better days. The dripping water's created an indent over time. It's too heavy to move. An underground river. I'm a strong swimmer, but I don't think I'd be able to fight the current. The river plunges over the edge here. What's down there? Could be the center of the earth for all I know. I'm not sure this place necessarily obeys the basic laws of physics. A torrential river pouring over the edge. Sure, I'm not tired of life. It's not far, but the current looks too strong for me to cross the river without being washed over the cliff. I'd have to cross the river, but the current's just too strong. I'd be washed over the edge. I'd have to cross the river.
These discs are in the very center of this temple. There's a torch hanging in the holder. A torch? Looks like some kind of altar, but who knows? The water dripping from the ceiling is beginning to wear it away in the center. I don't think I can move it. An overturned offerings bowl. Now just rotting meat and fruit. I suppose I ought to check through it, just in case. Just about the only thing here even remotely sanitary is this nut. I don't think there's anything else of interest. An overturned offerings bowl. Now just rotting meat and fruit. It's a nut. Given where I found it, it's in remarkably good nick. A stone slab. I should be able to lift this. These heads were cut directly out of the rock. Their eyes and mouths are closed. I don't see anything much to do with them, other than avoid their gaze. I wonder if I can take the gears out. The wooden one comes away easily enough, but the others are firmly installed. This gear may be made of wood, but it seems sturdy enough. A mound of stones and earth. The soil's rather compacted. I can't just pull it away with my fingernails. A small stream winding its way through the cave. This chain serves as a handrail. These posts support a chain that's used as a railing for crossing the bridge. This pole's firmly rooted to the spot. Got it. A long, rusty chain with 2 hooks. A small stalagmite has formed. The water drips onto this spot from above and leaves mineral deposits behind, allowing the stalagmite to slowly grow bigger and bigger. It's too sturdy to break off with bare hands. These rocks seem to have broken off from the ceiling quite recently. They're lying loose. One kick ought to do it.
It's a mound of earth. The soil's just too hard to dig. A load of pebbles from the old riverbed. I'll take some with me. It's a stone column. I think they form when a stalagmite and a stalactite meet in the middle. Just don't ask me which one's which. Impressive though it may be, it's in my way. And we know what happens when things get in my way. It's been here for thousands of years. It's too strong for me to shift.
I've taken the chain, but the posts are still standing. It's loose. I can most likely pull it out. Got it. A solid metal post. Strictly speaking, one isn't supposed to interfere with these things, but something is telling me to do otherwise. I think I'll just break them off. I hope no one notices. This is the central hub of Shambhala. It's hard to fathom, But these priests are conducting a ceremony that will construct a force field around the world's soul that will still be in place by the time Fenton arrives in around 10,000 years. When I first arrived here, I told them about the Nazi attack on the monastery, and they decided this was the best course of action. Perhaps the dying monk gave me that key because he knew it would send me into the past. The priests needed to know the threat so they could prepare for an emergency like this. They're the last survivors of Shambhala. They've dedicated their lives to protecting this place throughout time. That force field protects the source of the morphogenetic fields, the center of all knowledge, from being accessed by those who might misuse it. Only with the dragon amulet can Shambhala's power be harnessed. It's a cube-shaped stone. Cube-shaped stone.
Looks like the Countess and her men have set up camp in the center. There's Kim.
Well, any news?
No, Countess. We could not discover a way out of the caves. But we haven't yet examined every corner.
And Paddock?
No trace.
Okay, forget it. Perhaps the idiot fell over the edge when we arrived here. No matter, we have other concerns to tend to. Prepare the explosives. I'm quite sure a small detonation will be enough to disrupt the force field.
Jawohl, Countess.
I need to shift these ropes, but the Countess is keeping a close eye on me. She's calm, precise, organized. I've had no chance to escape. As long as I'm tied up here, I can't stop this madwoman. Maps, documents, and a glass bottle. I could definitely reach the table with my leg and give it a kick, but the Countess would notice it immediately.
I need to find the 3 parts of the dragon amulet. Fast. Large white crystals. Amazing. I'll grab the crystals. A pure sparkling crystal. A smooth white crystal. A white crystal. That's where Kim's being held. There are only a few soldiers down in the center, but there's an entire battalion stationed around the cavern. I can't just wander down there and take on an entire army. That force field's all that stands between the Countess and power beyond all imagination. The entirety of human knowledge. This force field protects the source of the morphogenetic fields. Apparently, the only way to bypass it is with the dragon amulet. Nazi troops with heavy weapons. They've set up a perimeter. Let's be honest here. When have you ever seen me actually fight anyone? Nazi troops with heavy weapons. They've set up a perimeter. Let's be honest here. Nazi troops they've set up a perimeter. According to Richard, there are 2 more temples besides this one in the north. There should be a piece of the dragon amulet in each one. There's one in the southeast and one in the southwest. This place is freezing. Lucky I've gotten pretty accustomed to extreme conditions over the last week. I've got to crack on and find the amulet piece. There's a recess in the wall here. There's a bright beam of light shining straight onto it. There's nothing in there. A stone tub. There's nothing in there. A recess in the wall. It's empty. It's empty. There's something frozen inside this ice block. I can see a faint golden shimmer. I'd need a pickaxe to smash through this. Even better, 5 kilos of trinitrotoluene. Frankly though, anything other than my bare hands would be a good start. A recess. I can't see anything inside. Let's fit this crystal in here. Fits perfectly. This crystal looks like a good fit. Impressive. The light from this area of the temple is concentrated and redirected. Let's see what happens. Ah, fantastic. The light's melting the ice. One of the pieces of the amulet. It's the tail piece of the amulet. Pebbles, about the size of my fist. That's the tail piece of the dragon amulet. Only by assembling all 3 pieces will I have a chance at stopping the Nazis.
The soil's rather compacted. I can't just pull it away with my fingernails. I can definitely use this to loosen the soil. Saving the world is no excuse not to get one's hands dirty. I'll try to shift some of this soil. The soil's loose. I can pull it away rather easily, though not without dirtying myself a little. Still, it's only mud. A pile of dirt, damp from the humidity in the cavern. There was a stone coffin hidden under the mound of dirt. There's a brightly painted lock on the front. The paint must be how they protect the metal from rust. There's a layer of protective paint on the lock that's chipping away in places, but the lock itself is strong. It won't budge. So, where to? I'm currently in the northern cave, and the 2 other temples are in the southwest and the southeast. It must be 200 degrees in here. That's a statue of the supreme deity of fire. The people who built this place attempted to appease the gods with sacrifices. The statue carries bowls in each hand. This one's empty. Bowls in which sacrifices to the gods are made. The statue carries bowls in each hand. There's a rectangular slot in the middle of this statue. It's empty. If I'm not mistaken, this sign symbolizes death. This sign stands for fire or heat. This is the symbol for life.